A new Chinese invention just changed everything. It's so advanced that experts say the US would need a century to catch up. From energy efficiency to raw power, this breakthrough is rewriting global technology as we know it, and what it does will blow your mind. Join us as we discover China's shocking new inventions. Let's go! Number 10. Sunway Taihu Light. China built a supercomputer so powerful it performs 93 quadrillion calculations per second. That's 93 followed by 15 zeros. Your brain can't really process what that means in practical terms, so here's perspective. If every person on Earth did one calculation per second, it would take us over 400 years to do what Taihu Light does in 1 second. The machine fills an entire building in Wuxi, containing over 10 million processor cores working in parallel. Unlike American supercomputers that rely on chips from Intel or AMD, Taihu Light runs entirely on Chinese-designed processors, making it immune to export restrictions or supply chain disruptions. The applications go way beyond bragging rights. Weather modeling that used to take days now completes in hours, providing forecasts with accuracy that saves lives during extreme events. Climate scientists run simulations modeling decades of atmospheric changes in weeks, testing theories about everything from ocean currents to ice sheet melting. Pharmaceutical research accelerated dramatically once Taihu Light came online. Simulating how molecules interact with proteins used to require months of lab work. The supercomputer tests millions of combinations virtually, identifying promising drug candidates in days. During the pandemic, Chinese researchers used Taihu Light to model viral proteins and test potential treatments, contributing to vaccine development timelines that shattered all previous records. Manufacturing simulations let engineers test product designs virtually, identifying flaws before building expensive prototypes. Aircraft wings, engine components, building materials all get stress tested in virtual environments that perfectly model real-world physics. The computer generates so much heat from all those processors working simultaneously that cooling systems consume almost as much power as the machine itself. Engineers designed custom liquid cooling that circulates refrigerated fluid through thousands of miles of microscopic channels, pulling heat away from chips faster than air cooling could ever manage. The entire facility draws 15 megawatts, enough to power a small town. But the computational output justifies the energy cost. China is already building the next-generation supercomputer targeting exascale performance, a billion calculations per second. At that level, simulations become indistinguishable from reality itself. Number 9. Archax the robot. Picture this, a 15-foot-tall robot that you can actually climb inside and pilot like you're living in an anime. That's Archax, and it's not sitting in some concept lab collecting dust. This thing walks, grabs stuff, and transforms into a vehicle. We're talking about 3.5 tons of pure mechanical muscle moving through 26 joints that copy human movement so accurately it's almost creepy. Inside the cockpit, you're surrounded by controls that look ripped straight from a video game. Except when you push a button, actual hydraulic systems respond with tons of force. The arms aren't for show either. Each one lifts a full ton, picking up debris or equipment with precision that shouldn't be possible for something this massive. But here's where it gets wild. This giant can transform into a wheeled tank in just 60 seconds. No joke. 1 minute it's walking on 2 legs, the next it's rolling across rough terrain at 6 miles per hour. Chinese engineers built Archax for disaster zones where normal equipment fails. Think collapsed buildings, where it's too dangerous to send people, but perfect for a mechanical giant that can lift concrete slabs while the operator stays safe inside an armored cabin. Construction sites at crazy heights become accessible when you've got a robot that doesn't get tired and won't fall. Space programs are already looking at how these mechas could work on other planets, handling equipment where humans need massive life support systems. The prototype phase is over. Production models are getting tested in real emergency scenarios across multiple provinces right now. Giant piloted robots just crossed from cartoons into actual documented reality. I have a question for you. First, I would like to say that it is possible to follow the greatest curiosities of our world every day. But to do so, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So, are you already subscribed? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Also, take the opportunity to like the video, so YouTube will recommend more videos from our channel. So leave your like right now. And now that you have done that, let's go! Number 8. Chinese Hyperloop. Beijing to Shanghai normally takes 5 hours on China's fastest trains. The new Hyperloop system will do it in under 60 minutes, shooting passengers at speeds over 620 miles per hour inside tubes where the air has been sucked out. This isn't some future promise. Test runs are happening right now, hitting velocities that make regular transportation look like it's standing still. The physics is actually simple. Air resistance is what stops everything from going faster on the ground. Remove the air, eliminate friction with magnetic levitation, and suddenly there's nothing holding you back. Passengers board pressurized capsules that look more like spaceships than train cars. Once sealed, electromagnetic fields lift these pods off any physical track, floating them on invisible magnetic cushions. Vacuum pumps suck the air from the tubes until pressure drops to almost space levels. Then the propulsion kicks in, accelerating smoothly until buildings outside become complete blurs. Inside, though, less vibration than a normal car ride. The magnetic suspension absorbs everything, so you could balance a coin on edge during the whole trip. No wheels touching anything means no friction creating heat or needing maintenance. No air molecules hitting the hull means no drag limiting speed. Early tests showed something weird. The system actually gets more efficient at higher speeds. Normal vehicles fight harder against resistances as they speed up, but vacuum tube travel throws that whole equation out the window. Engineers have documented stable rides at test speeds 3 times faster than bullet trains, with data showing the capsules could theoretically go even faster. The first commercial line opens in 2027, connecting major cities across distances that currently take hours. China's already planning a national network that would make domestic flights basically pointless for most trips, turning a country of 1.4 billion people into basically one huge metro area, where you can eat breakfast in one city and lunch 600 miles away. Number 7. Haidilao, Henna Hotel, and robot hospitals. Walk into certain Chinese hospitals and you might not see a human medical professional your entire visit. Surgical robots perform operations with sub-millimeter precision, guided by AI that has analyzed millions of procedures. Robot nurses hand out medications, monitor vital signs, and respond to patient needs 24 hours daily without getting tired or distracted. Success rates for certain procedures now beat human surgeon averages because machines don't get tired, don't lose focus, and execute the same movements perfectly every single time. The Henna Hotel takes automation further. Robot dinosaurs handle check-in, scanning passports, and assigning rooms through conversational AI that responds in multiple languages. Mechanical arms transport luggage to rooms through automated elevators. Once inside, AI controls adjust room temperature, lighting, and entertainment based on preferences learned from previous visits. Cleaning robots service rooms while guests are out, washing linens, restocking supplies, and vacuuming without human supervision. The only humans you see work maintenance shifts in early morning, fixing mechanical issues before guests wake up. Restaurants like Haidilao have embraced full automation even harder. Robot chefs follow recipes programmed by master cooks, preparing dishes that taste identical every time, because measurements, timing, and temperatures get controlled precisely. Mechanical arms flip ingredients, adjust heat, and plate food with artistic precision. Robot waiters navigate dining rooms using spatial mapping, taking orders through voice recognition, delivering meals, and processing payments automatically. Kitchen operations run continuously, producing meals during rush hours without the chaos that overwhelms human staff. This represents automation reaching into every aspect of daily life. The robots don't just help humans. Number 6. TEB, the elevated bus that straddles traffic. Traffic jams are supposed to be unavoidable in big cities. That idea falls apart when a 72-foot vehicle glides silently above gridlocked cars using the same road but occupying vertical space that normally goes to waste. China's TEB elevated bus operates like a moving tunnel, high enough that regular cars drive underneath while it carries 1,200 passengers overhead. First time you see one, your brain doesn't know what to do. Cars are flowing normally through what looks like a giant moving archway, while 100 people ride above them, totally separated from ground traffic. The engineering cracks a problem that stumped city planners forever: how to move more people without building more lanes. Regular buses take up road space that could hold cars. The TEB uses vertical space instead, creating a second traffic layer in the same footprint. Electric propulsion draws power from batteries that recharge at each station through charging pads built into the road. No emissions, minimal noise, and speeds reaching 37 miles per hour while staying rock-solid stable. The guidance system mixes physical rails with optical sensors that track road conditions constantly. If a truck or tall vehicle enters the space underneath, the TEB detects it instantly, stops, and alerts the driver below. Passengers board at elevated platforms built at bus stops, entering through doors 7 feet above street level. Inside, the ride feels smoother than regular buses because the TEB's weight and guide rails eliminate the constant starting and stopping that makes ground buses uncomfortable. Windows look down on traffic below, giving a perspective most people never experience. The vehicle spans multiple lanes, meaning it carries way more passengers per trip than normal buses while using less total road time. Cities running TEB systems report traffic cuts of 30% on routes where they operate, purely because one TEB replaces dozens of regular buses that would otherwise clog streets. The technology scales in ways normal infrastructure doesn't. Adding TEB routes needs guide rails and elevated platforms, but not demolishing buildings or digging tunnels like subways demand. Existing roads transform into 2-level transportation networks without reconstruction. Number 5. Zhurong Mars Rover. While the world watched NASA's Perseverance rover, China quietly landed its own robot on Mars. Zhurong, named after a fire god in Chinese mythology, touched down in Utopia Planitia in May 2021, making China only the second nation to successfully operate a rover on another planet. The landing alone was an engineering masterpiece, surviving the 7 minutes of terror that has destroyed most Mars missions. The rover carries 6 scientific instruments, analyzing Martian geology, weather, and magnetic fields. Ground-penetrating radar looks beneath the surface, mapping subsurface structures to depths of 100 meters. That data reveals ancient water channels, buried ice deposits, and geological layers telling Mars's climate history. Zhurong's cameras capture high-resolution images of the Martian surface, showing details of rocks, soil, and terrain features that help scientists understand the planet's geological evolution. The rover navigates autonomously, analyzing terrain and plotting courses around obstacles without waiting for instructions from Earth. Communication delays mean commands take 20 minutes to reach Mars, so the rover has to make its own decisions about where to drive and what to study. Solar panels provide power, extending mission duration far beyond the initial 90-day design life. After over a year, Zhurong was still operating, having traveled over a mile across the Martian surface. China's Mars mission proves the country's space program has matured from following others to conducting independent exploration. The technical challenges of landing on Mars eliminate about 70% of attempts, yet China succeeded on its first try. They're already planning sample return missions, bringing Martian rocks back to Earth for detailed analysis. Mars is just the beginning. China has announced missions to Jupiter's moons, asteroid sample returns, and establishing a permanent lunar base by 2030. The space race isn't between nations anymore. It's between visions of humanity's future beyond Earth. Number 4. EHang 216. Calling a ride from your phone is normal. What's not normal is watching that ride drop from the sky, land next to you, and open its doors without any pilot inside. The EHang 216 has been running commercial flights across multiple Chinese cities, carrying actual paying passengers through the air in autonomous vehicles that fly themselves. This isn't a demo. These flights happen every single day, regulated by aviation authorities and built into urban transportation networks. The vehicle looks like someone built a giant drone big enough for humans, which is basically what it is. 8 electric rotors provide lift, creating enough power to carry 2 passengers plus bags while staying surprisingly quiet. There's no steering wheel, no controls for passengers to mess with. You pick your destination on a touchscreen, confirm the route, and artificial intelligence handles everything else. Takeoff is straight up, lifting until it clears buildings, then transitioning to forward flight toward wherever you're going. GPS with military precision tracks position within inches, while sensors constantly scan for obstacles, other aircraft, or weather that might need route changes. The computer makes thousands of tiny adjustments every second, keeping things stable even in wind that would trouble human pilots. Flight time maxes at 35 minutes per charge, covering enough range for most city travel, at speeds up to 80 miles per hour. It flies around 3,000 feet, above cars but below commercial planes, using airspace that's mostly been sitting empty. The safety systems are insane. If any rotor fails, the other 7 keep controlled flight. If multiple systems fail, automated parachutes deploy, lowering the whole vehicle safely. If all power dies, it can still do autonomous emergency landings using backup battery. The safety record beats traditional taxis by huge margins, with millions of miles flown and 0 passenger injuries. Cities have charging stations at key points, creating networks where air taxis can swap batteries in minutes. The active fleet is over 200 units, completing thousands of passenger trips monthly. Fares run similar to premium ground rides, making this accessible beyond just rich early adopters. Number 3. ZPMC Automated Port. Shanghai's Yangshan Port looks like a science fiction movie set. 0 humans walking around, just giant robotic cranes moving shipping containers with perfect precision, 24 hours a day, without breaks, without mistakes. This port handles more cargo than any facility on Earth, and it does it almost entirely without people touching anything. The cranes are massive, towering over ships like mechanical dinosaurs. They grab containers off vessels, lift them hundreds of feet in the air, and place them exactly where they need to go. The precision is insane. We're talking about placing 40-ton metal boxes within millimeters of their target position every single time. Cameras and sensors track every container, feeding data to AI systems that orchestrate the entire operation like a perfectly timed dance. Automated trucks called AGVs zip around the port carrying containers from ships to storage yards. They navigate using magnetic strips embedded in the pavement, following paths calculated to minimize travel time and avoid collisions. The whole system processes over 20 million containers annually. That's roughly 1 container every 90 seconds, day and night, rain or shine. Human port workers used to be one of the most dangerous jobs you could have. Heavy machinery everywhere, tight spaces, stuff constantly moving overhead. Yangshan eliminated that danger by eliminating the humans. The efficiency gains are stupid high. Traditional ports have workers who get tired, need bathroom breaks, call in sick. Yangshan's robots work continuously, only stopping for scheduled maintenance. Ships that used to sit in harbor for days waiting to unload now get processed in hours. That speed translates directly to money saved, which is why ports worldwide are copying this model. China didn't just automate one facility, they created a blueprint that's changing how global shipping works. Every automated port being built anywhere on the planet is essentially copying what ZPMC engineered in Shanghai. Number 2. CRRC maglev train. Trains with wheels are officially old news. China just rolled out a maglev that hits 373 miles per hour without touching the track. Not hovering an inch off the ground. We're talking about floating several inches up on pure magnetic force, gliding like it's defying physics, because, well, it kind of is. The CRRC maglev doesn't have an engine in the traditional sense. Electromagnets line the track and the train, creating opposing forces that literally push the train away from the rail. Once it's floating, linear motors propel it forward using the same magnetic principle. No friction means no heat buildup, no wear on parts, and speeds that make conventional trains look like they're parked. Inside, passengers barely feel movement. The magnetic suspension absorbs vibrations so completely that you can stand a water bottle on a table and watch it sit perfectly still while the landscape outside becomes a complete blur. Shanghai to Beijing used to take over 5 hours on regular high-speed rail. This maglev will cut that to under 2 hours, covering 800 miles faster than most commercial flights when you factor in airport security and boarding time. The train accelerates smoothly from 0 to cruising speed in minutes, pushing passengers gently back in their seats with G-forces so mild you barely notice. Deceleration is equally smooth, the magnetic braking system bleeding off speed gradually without the jerking stops of conventional trains. The track infrastructure costs more up front than traditional rail, but maintenance expenses drop dramatically. No wheels wearing out, no rails degrading from constant friction, no brake pads to replace. The magnetic components last decades with minimal service. China has already built hundreds of miles of maglev track connecting major cities, with plans to expand the network nationwide. The technology eliminates one of the biggest advantages airlines had over ground transportation. Why fly when you can? Number 1. Hainan Floating Solar Farm. Picture 320,000 solar panels stretched across water instead of land, generating electricity while actually helping the environment beneath them. In Shandong province, this isn't imagination. It's the world's largest floating solar farm, covering nearly 2,500 acres of artificial lake, with solar arrays that power 200,000 homes. The genius isn't just